By the age of 30, he had conquered the largest empire the world had ever seen. He never lost a single battle. And then he died. This is the story of Alexander the Great, a boy who tamed a wild horse, a student of Aristotle, a king who wept because there were no more worlds to conquer. In this video, how a young prince from Macedonia became the greatest conqueror in history, how he defeated the mighty Persian Empire, and why his empire crumbled the moment he died. Let's go.
Alexander was born in 356 BC in Pella, the capital of Macedonia. His father was King Philip II, a brilliant general. His mother was Olympias, a fierce and ambitious woman. Legend says that on the day Alexander was born, the great temple of Artemis burned down, a sign that a great light had come into the world, and would one leave it? When Alexander was 13, his father hired the greatest philosopher in Greece to be his teacher, Aristotle. For 3 years, Aristotle taught Alexander philosophy, science, medicine, and the epic poems of Homer. At age 12, Alexander tamed a wild horse that no one else could ride. Its name was Bucephalus, the ox head. Alexander spoke gently to the horse, turning him away from the sun so he would not see his own shadow. Bucephalus became his battle companion for 18 years, carrying Alexander across half the world. When the horse finally died, Alexander named a city after him, Bucephala. At age 20, Alexander became king after his father was assassinated. He crushed rebellions in Greece and then turned east toward the mighty Persian Empire. In the city of Gordian, Alexander faced an ancient legend. A wagon was tied with a knot so complex that no one could untie it. The prophecy said, whoever untied the knot would rule Asia. Alexander did not waste time. He drew his sword and cut the knot in half. He would not wait for destiny. He would take it. In 333 BC, Alexander met the Persian king Darius III at the Battle of Issus. Against a much larger army, Alexander attacked. Darius fled, leaving his own family behind.
Alexander marched south to Egypt. The Egyptians welcomed him as a liberator. They hated Persian rule. They crowned him pharaoh. On the coast of the Mediterranean, Alexander founded a new city. He designed it himself. He named it Alexandria. It would become the greatest center of learning in the ancient world. Darius gathered a massive army. Historians say over 100,000 soldiers, 200 chariots, and 15 war elephants. Alexander had only 47,000 men. The odds were against him. Alexander did not wait. He launched a massive cavalry charge directly at Darius. The Persian king panicked and fled again. Once the king ran, his army collapsed. Alexander captured Babylon, Susa, and Persepolis, the capital of Persia. He burned Persepolis to the ground, sending a message: the Persian Empire was dead. But Alexander did not stop. He marched east into India. He faced King Porus, a giant of a man on a war elephant. Alexander won, but his army had finally had enough. His soldiers refused to go further. They had marched over 20,000 miles. They had fought in deserts, mountains, and monsoons. They wanted to go home. Alexander was furious. He locked himself in his tent for 3 days. But in the end, he agreed to turn back. He wept, they say, because there were no more worlds to conquer. On the way back, Alexander fell sick in Babylon. Fever, exhaustion, some say poison. He had conquered the world, but he could not conquer death. On June 10th, 323 BC, Alexander the Great died. He was only 32 years old.
His generals asked him who would inherit his empire. He whispered, "To the strongest."
Alexander's empire crumbled within years. His generals divided it among themselves. But Alexander's legacy never died. He spread Greek language, culture, and ideas across 3 continents. The Hellenistic world was born. And every great conqueror after him, Caesar, Napoleon, Genghis Khan, walked in his shadow.